Hello everyone. I'm going to share a few thoughts about the nature of the soul. I know it's a huge topic, and I'm just going to give some thoughts about how we can go into the direction of the soul. If we take the word itself, it has been used so many times that for many people it's quite an empty word. So if we find another word for soul and propose to use that other word, perhaps it can help us guide us into the direction of the soul. I would like to use the word essence, because when we say essence, it reminds us of something that is actually related to the soul and the nature of the soul, but we get different associations. So, for instance, if we say that we look at another person, a human being, we usually tend to characterize that human being by the person's physical characteristics. Oh, she looks like this and that, her hair color, his clothing is very not my style, And every time we make these evaluations and judgments, in fact, we start looking at the person as an object. We evaluate the nature of the being by its appearance in the outer form. And it's very easy to recognize when we discover the facts, but we do it so often, mostly unconscious. So when we start looking into the direction of the soul, we can use the first guideline: remove the obstacle that lies in the fact that we tend to look at other people from their physical appearance. Well, does that bring us to the soul? Not directly, but perhaps to a certain degree. But then we meet other obstacles. We have emotional judgments and sympathies and antipathies about our fellow human beings. So if we start giving our assessments about other people to which degree we like them or dislike them, then at a more subtle level we start making them into objects, because we distance ourselves from the other person by simply putting an emotional color and make this a kind of badge that characterizes the person. So behind the physical outer level, there is an emotional objectifying process where we alienate ourselves from the other human being. But there is another level also. It is in the nature of the mind when we conceptualize things. For instance, when I look at another person, it is very easy to say, oh, but he's a Christian, or, well, he comes from this or that country, or he's a theosophist, or he belongs to a group of esotericists that have another interpretation of the truth, so he's this or that. And every time we do this, no matter how well-meaning it is from our side, we actually start turning the other person into an object. We remove ourselves from the essence. So, we can ask the question, how do I open myself up to the essence of another human being? Well, the first steps could be to start removing the obstacles that arise every time I tend to make the other human being into an object, physically emotionally and mentally. In a way, the word demonizing could be put into this process. We demonize, we alienate. I don't believe in demons, but the word demonize is a way of forgetting the soul and seeing the form nature. So the first wonderful and very important step we can take in discovering the soul is to remove our attention from all the form aspects and make our meeting or our perception of the other human being as a journey of getting the veils aside and looking beyond. The Rosicrucians in the Renaissance had the motto plus ultra, which actually means there is more beyond. So perhaps our first step towards appreciating the unique quality and value of every human being, no matter what, could be to start removing the obstacles when we make another human being into an object. Perhaps this can bring us in the direction of the soul.